when talking about getting your team better. It was announced, I believe yesterday, the New York Giants released James Bradberry corner. Some Bengal fans want him, some Bengal fans don't. I see no issue trying to sign him. We have the cap space to sign him. Some people think he's going to want $13 million. He will not sign $13 million. I think if he signed with the Bengals, it'll be seven or eight. And it's one of those deals. All right, do you want to sign Bradberry? Do you want to sign Larry Ogunjobi? Or do you want to sign Quentin Spain? We already talked about Quentin Spain. I don't think he's coming back. Larry Ogunjobi, it's questionable. Maybe he does come back on a cheaper deal. But then Bradberry, you can have more bodies at corner, a guy who's been around the league for quite some time, one of the better corners in the league, and maybe he wants to, ring chase with the Bengals. I have no issue with, signing him. I see some people, is he that much better than Eli Apple? Okay, well, but what if Eli Apple gets hurt? And we're screwed. Okay, we did draft Daxton Hill. We did draft, the guy from Nebraska. We did draft Tyson Anderson, but those guys have never played an NFL snap in their career. Okay, having extra bodies is great, but at the same time, you want to have guys who have experience, and Bradberry has that experience. So to me, I think the Bengals would be stupid not to look into possibly signing Bradberry. It would be a great move for the Bengals to sign him.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of year Bradberry had last year because I wasn't really paying attention, but I know the 2 years prior, he was excellent. And you're thinking, like, yeah, you have the money, you can get this guy, and now corner is not an issue, no matter who goes down. If you have Bradberry and Awuzie goes down for a period of time, you still have someone that can pretty much fill in there. So, yeah, I know we see it all the time. Whenever there's like a good player that's waived, you always want your team to grab him. But, this guy really makes sense unless they're just going to sit on that $8 million and try to roll it into next year. I don't know the plan, but, yeah, there's three guys, Spain, Ogunjobi, or someone like Bradberry or some other free agent that's still out there, but those are all possibilities. And I guess given my choice out of those three, I would probably go with Bradberry at this point. I love Ogunjobi, but the foot is a concern. And Bradberry, you're done with your secondary. You're done. Get him on a 2-year deal, and you're done for 2 years. You don't even have to think about the defensive backfield. And so many organizations struggle with poor defensive backs, and we've had our down years at that position. And this would be a real good answer to that. But I almost feel like we're not going to do it. In a lot of cases, like remember when Larry Warford came available a couple years back, it seemed like he would be a big, solid addition to the offensive line. We didn't sign. There's so many guys like that they become available, and you think they'd be a great fit, and then your team just doesn't pull the trigger for either financial reasons or, like I said before, maybe they know something about these guys that we just don't know.
And you mentioned the cap rollover. So let's say like $8-10 million. That would totally be enough money for Bradberry, Ogunjobi, or Spain. With Spain, like I said, with somebody getting 67, that pretty much confirms that I don't think they're going to sign him. That's something else. When you look at even this past season with the Bengals on like their practice squad and everything like that, there was never a player who had the jersey number 97. So at the back of my mind, what if there's a chance the Bengals re-sign Atkins because nobody picked up 97? You don't have that same situation for Spain, so it's kind of like, well, they're not going to sign him. Ogunjobi, I saw something today. Him and DJ Reader are real good friends and everything. I do think that would not be bad at all. Jobi's foot injury, okay, maybe sign him in a couple months once he's can pass a physical. I don't think that would be bad, and it would give you more experienced bodies at defensive tackle because if Hill or Reader go down, we're in trouble. Just like with corner. We're not as in trouble as we were a couple weeks ago. But if Awuzie goes down, we have these guys like Hill and Britt, but we don't have experienced bodies. And that's where Bradberry could, be great for us. Let's say, 2 for 25 or something like that. I don't think bad. But with the cap rollover, I think it's interesting. Maybe the Bengals don't sign Bradberry and have that $8 million rolled over to next season because, that could be money towards Bates. That could be money towards a tight end because, Hayden Hurst and Drew Sample are both free agents. We're going to have to do something there. There's a couple other guys who are free agents as well, like Jermaine Pratt. But there's lots of different scenarios and lots of different possibilities the Bengals could be making with different moves these next couple of months.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And especially with having a little bit of money left over, there's a lot. And what you mentioned about Ogunjobi, I can almost see him being someone that we sign in October after there's an injury and get him at a bargain price.